The U.S.'s deficit with China plunged to a 21-year low of $9.5 billion in June since Trump's implementation of tariffs to rebalance global trade relationships with its partners and bring jobs back to the country. The June deficit with China of $9.5 billion represented a 46.3% decline from $13.9 billion in May. The U.S. has the world's largest trade deficit in goods at $1.2 trillion, with the largest to China at $295.4 billion in 2024. The two countries have not reached a deal as the 90-day pause on U.S. tariffs expires on August 12th. The Chinese delegation floated the idea of another 90-day pause to continue negotiations during the second trade talks with the U.S. in London, but U.S. President Donald Trump has not agreed to it. The U.S. tariff rate on Chinese goods is 30%, while Beijing will continue applying a 10% levy on U.S. products. Overall, the U.S. goods deficit fell by 11.9%, or $11.4 billion to $84.8 billion in June, the smallest gap since September 2023, according to the Commerce Department's Census Bureau. The U.S. trade deficit in goods with the EU, the second largest at $235.6 billion in 2024, fell sharply by 1.2 times to $9.9 billion in June from $21.9 billion in May. The U.S. and the EU had reached a long-awaited trade deal where the U.S. has levied a 15% rate on EU goods. The EU also committed to purchase $750 billion of U.S. energy products and invest $600 billion in the U.S. economy by 2029. Trump said he would increase tariffs to 35% if the 27-member EU bloc does not follow through on its pledges. The lower trade deficit contributed to the better-than-expected rebound in the U.S. second-quarter GDP growth rate, as imports are subtracted from gross domestic product calculations to reflect the total market value of all goods and services produced domestically for GDP. In the April to June period, the U.S. economy expanded by 3%, topping the consensus estimate of 2.4%.